first full day in the new area here at the EPA. They finished up that first area really well. And now they have a big project ahead of them. We'll be here most of the rest of the time that we have allotted to be here, which is another week from today. And we have one small project that we are going to do on the last day. Update on what the goats have been doing. Well, they're almost, I would say they're 85% through the knotweed section. Doing really good over there. Clearing the knotweed. They're not drinking much because there's so much water in the knotweed. It is day 11 here at the EPA, and the excitement has not stopped yet. That blue tarp there? Oh, that blue tarp's there for a reason. Let me explain. Last night, the goats came back, or early evening, the goats came back, and I knew they were going to go back out again, but Luna was unusually vocal. Like, not too loud, not screaming in pain or anything, just letting me know that she wasn't feeling well. So I was on the phone with Jackie when she started bleating, you know, meh, a second time, and I noticed that her stomach was a little gassy, and almost immediately she started trying to sling her cud. Now, there's only one reason goats sling cud that I've ever seen, and that would have to be a toxic plant. We've been doing this job, this is 8 years now. We know that in the area that we fence off there are none, but there are some along the border. So I immediately ran out, checked the border of the fence to see what was going on, and see if they got into anything, push the fence over, whatever, because I needed to know what are the chances somebody else ate it as well. Well, nobody else had eaten it, and the perimeter was clear. There was no fence down, no place where they had pushed to get to the rhododendrons in the neighbor's yard or anything like that. And it would be unusual for them to do that too, because there's plenty to eat here. But what we found was underneath that blue tarp there is a pile of brush, you know, debris. And what's on top? Rhododendron. Now, why? Normally I would check debris piles, but that pile was covered when we got here. We couldn't even see it. We couldn't see the pile. There was no seeing in it. It was completely mounded. So I didn't notice it. Jackie didn't notice it. Then they cleared it off, and they did. Now, the last time I was here, however, the person that trims the brush and trims the bushes and the brush and the shrubs around the EPA brought a bunch of it over to where we were and asked if the goats would eat it, and I noticed it was mostly rhododendron, and I said no, they can't eat that, that'll kill them. And then it ended up over here somehow. So I'll speak to our contact here at the EPA, just let them know that it happened, and ask maybe not to dispose it there, or we can fence around the other side of it so that we don't go over that pile. Either way, not a big deal. That's what it was. It was a big deal for Luna. She was sick for a solid 8 hours. Jackie came here with a whole bunch of charcoal. We filled her up with charcoal, quarter pound plus, and now she's doing much, much better. Shortly after the charcoal, the gas stopped in her belly. Her rumen started up about 6 hours into it. And once her rumen started moving and the gas dissipated, I was pretty sure she'd be okay. And this morning, she is back to normal. Like nothing ever happened. Happy to be out here eating. Also, over here you might notice, that's right, the hood's up. The hood's up on the bus because I was having power steering issues on the way here. The tank for the reservoir of power steering fluid happens to be quite rusty, as well as the hose, and it's seeping out of there. It made it low. I've refilled it, took care of the issue, but now I have to replace that tank and the rubber hose. Knotweed. There's just so much of it. Much less here now than there was when we started. And they're pushing it back. It's a little bit thinner and they get more done even with all the rain. They're still knocking the knotweed down because it's one of the first plants that they concentrate on. They're kicking butt, but I don't know. Knotweed. As you can see, 24 hours later, Luna is feeling just fine. We are experiencing a windy day, a windy afternoon. Weather predicted that the winds would come up, and they definitely have. And when I say windy, I mean windy. Right now the gusts, I would say, are about 30-35 miles an hour. It's time to tie the goats down, I guess. But the goats are actually staying along the perimeter right now because everything in the woods is moving and they don't like that. So they're staying on the outside, which is where they really need to work right now anyhow, because they have so much to eat. This year was very rainy, and the result was extra vegetation for them to get rid of.